So I didn't think that we'd be going back to this topic so soon.
Or so much.
I thought that it was going to be a one and done episode on it. Like, we didn't cover the Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion situation for the last 2 years that it was unfolding.
Yeah.
But then we decided to cover it right after he got sentenced to 10 years. But now, I was sick. I was sick for about a week. I'm still a little bit nasally. I was sick for 2 days, and then allergies kicked my butt for 5 days, right? So I'm still a little nasally, but because I was sick, I was catching up on some of the videos that I got in my watch later.
The videos, the shows, the movies, the documentaries.
And while I had a long list of stuff in my watch later. I watched one of the things in my watch later was a podcast episode from one of the podcasts I like to listen to, and they started talking about some documentary that on the Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion case.
What?
And I was like, what? And then I told you, and then me and you decided to watch it while I was not feeling well.
Well, it was news to our ears, even freaking hearing that they had made a documentary.
I don't think a lot of people know that they made a documentary.
No, not many people know that they made a documentary about it.
So they made a documentary on HBO Max. Peacock or HBO Max?
HBO Max.
Yeah. We watched it. Yo. Very revealing. There's so many details that they couldn't tell the public while the case was going on that they were able to then say both from Meg's side and Tory's side. And this is what I think is fair.
Okay.
Because remember, there's the court and then there's the court of public opinion.
Yes.
And I think the court of public opinion was very against Meg when the whole situation first started. Then it became, I think...
Because Tory denied it all the way through. He was like, deny, 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 deny.
Yeah. Deny. And then I think it became 50-50 when more details started to come out, and then they actually started to go to court. But then now that there's this documentary, and now that they're able to fully release from both sides everything that from Meg's side and everything from Tory's side, I think it's bringing back the court of public opinion. Now the public can judge it the same way everyone in the courtroom was able to judge it. If that makes sense.
Like the jurors, everyone that.
And now you see why certain decisions were made and certain charges were brought and certain charges.
Well, so usually when a case is going on, you can't reveal all of the details because then that messes with the jurors.
Yes.
Like the jurors see it, then that messes with their decision. So you can't really release all the information. But once the case is finished, all the truth comes out, and it's like a glorious symphony that just comes out. It's like true.
It's like, damn, I didn't know all this was going on. So now, and I'm noticing that's a trend, yo. Like,
what do you mean?
There's some documentaries that I've watched in the last maybe year or so.
Okay.
Like the Murdaugh mysteries, the Murdaugh murders, and this Tory Lanez thing, and Tekashi when he got arrested, and all these things.
Right.
And it's like right before the person goes to jail or gets released or whatever, a documentary comes out.
Well, usually.
And then you learn more about their situation more than you knew before.
Well, because now it's a public record thing. Now you can access those records if you want.
Yeah, I can go access it. And the documentary was even filmed in a way where it looked like that was the case. All right. I don't want to harp on that for too long. I want to dive into it.
Okay.
You watched the documentary.
Yes, we watched
the documentary. We saw both sides. I want to hear your take first. What do you think now that you have seen the doc and heard both sides and heard all the evidence? What do you ultimately think and why?
I'm gonna be honest. I hate to say it like this, but I feel like I was completely right because when we first talked about it, I told you Tory might be not abusive, but he might be aggressive, right? But I feel like the only reason he might get aggressive is because of something that'll bring him down or make him look bad. Because he's a short dude, right? I'm a short woman. So essentially it's like the Napoleon complex, that comes to mind, right? Because there's things that I am insecure about as a short person. And I know that he is definitely, as a man, insecure about certain things. So when, you have something against you, like being short, you take your career, you take your grades, you take everything more seriously. It's just like a challenge. You just gotta beat people at it, right? So I feel like when we were first talking about everything that happened, I told you, I had said, I feel like Megan said some crazy shit to Tory about his career. That's the only way this man with a Napoleon complex
could get that mad. To even end up in a situation where his gun ends up getting discharged in some sort of way.
Exactly.
If even he wasn't the one to fire
Exactly. And then the documentary proved it, right? Because apparently it did say, like, in the records from what Megan's friend said and from what Megan said, that they were insulting each other. Megan was like, oh, but I'm a bigger star than you. She kind of started talking him type crazy. So that's when I knew. I was like, yes. So I was like, it essentially, those moments when you're arguing with somebody and you're drunk, especially when you have someone who has like complexes, it comes down to like I don't want to say like it's an insult thing, but it essentially comes down to insults. Like things can flip. Like the coin can completely flip at any second because of a slight insult. Like, I'm better than you.
So you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
Like, let me spoiler alert. First of all, like this, I want to preface this to everybody that's listening or watching. If you are subscribed, right, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for listening.
And for coming back.
And thank you for coming back. Listen. Let me just run through really quickly what the doc told us that we didn't know before.
Yes.
Or that I didn't know.
Some facts.
At least that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? One, that there was a text message sent from, all right, Meg and her friend, which is also her assistant, was at Kylie Jenner's house.
Yes.
At just chilling in the pool.
Yeah.
It was not like a big party. There was not like a ton of people.
No. Apparently there was, but it died down in the night.
Yeah,
and that's
but
when
like,
Tory came.
yeah, but like, listen, like they were just all chilling in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Meg reached out to Tory and told Tory, "Yo, pull up. We're all just chilling in the pool." Tory pulls up with his bodyguard, but he also pulls up with a 9mm gun. I think it's a 9mm, right?
They said 9mm.
He pulls up with a pistol. Now, the pistol's in the car. Now, the pistol doesn't come into play until later into the night, but they do show you this in the documentary to show you that things were calm. He's pulling up to a pool party.
And it wasn't on
not
crazy
a pool
shit.
party with a ton of people there and all this other shit. It was basically just Kylie, maybe one or two other people, Kylie, Meg, and Meg's friend at that point.
Kelsey,
I
remember her name now.
So Tory showing up with the gun, they show you that like it made kind of no sense.
Yeah.
But cool, whatever. I mean, in terms of like for security, his bodyguard having the gun makes sense, right?
But for him to pull up with the gun.
So basically, right, like they pull up, they have the gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
The gun is not at the pool party. I'm assuming the gun stays in the car.
Okay.
They're at the pool party, they're drinking. They say, even when they're describing on Meg's side, that like Meg was like clearly super intoxicated or high,
she was, like,
or whatever, because
everything.
she was just laughing in like a way that's like not her normal self.
Yeah.
So her friend was trying to tell her, hey, let's go because you're looking a type of way. You can't just be out. You're a superstar now. You can't just be looking any type of way.
Yep.
She refuses to leave because she wants to leave when Tory is leaving.
Right.
Tory doesn't want to leave because he's somewhat flirting with Kylie Jenner.
Right.
They eventually end up leaving. They get into an argument. Like you mentioned before, apparently, this is even from Meg's side,
right.
Meg was starting to insult Tory's career.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for people who might not know who Megan Tory is, Megan Thee Stallion's a rapper, recording artist. Tory Lanez is a rapper, recording artist. Tory Lanez has been out since about 2015, 2016 in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
He's had quite a bit of hits.
Yes.
Meg came on the scene, had quite a bit of hits too, but then has this hit that went worldwide, in which Beyonce jumped on the track. She was then she did WAP with Cardi B and Kylie Jenner's in the music video, and WAP was the most talked about thing at the time. So she has kind of not eclipsed him, but passed him technically in stardom. Right. So by her saying this to him, in a way, she's kind of talking down to him.
Yeah.
Whatever. The argument gets heated. Tory, because he's the one that drove there and it's his vehicle. Right. It's his bodyguard that's driving. He's like, yo, get the fuck out the car.
Well, no, that's on Megan's side.
That's on Megan's side.
Story from Megan's side. He told them to get the fuck out.
He tells them, yo, get the F out of the car.
Right.
They leave. As they're leaving the car and they're walking or whatever, he apparently opens up the driver's side door. He's like standing in the driver's side door and he says, dance, bitch, and starts shooting the gun at, like, I guess her feet or whatever. But like the rhythm, I love how they in this documentary, they let you hear the rhythm of the shot.
Yeah.
Because that's the actual audio from
a ring camera.
From a ring camera,
from
right?
one of the houses, yeah.
From one of the houses. Now, they don't show how close the house is, but my nuanced brain says this. I have a doorbell camera. I've had a doorbell camera for the last 10, 11, 12 years. Like half of my life I've had a doorbell camera, right? I know that the doorbell camera doesn't pick up audio that's that far. But I know that a gunshot is really loud.
Right.
But I also know that depending on how loud that gunshot was in that audio, I'm curious how far away was the house in which the audio from the doorbell camera that picked up the gunshots really is. The reason why I want to know that is because if he was yelling dance bitch and there was that much yelling and commotion going on, I want to know why you can't even hear like the tiny little bits of audible, maybe like very faint noises. Maybe I'm just wrong, but like that's just my thinking because I've owned a doorbell camera and I know what type of audio it picks up. So now hold on. I want to finish prefacing the story for everybody that's listening before they fully hear what the hell I'm thinking, right? Now, the story then also mentions... It gets deeper because now he shoots... apparently, she gets hurt. She's, like, screaming now. She and Kelsey, like, crawl over into some other yard for safety.
She crawls into
another yard for safety, whatever. And then Tory and them all decide that it's best for her to just get back in the car, right? Because we gotta go. Like home, like
we just pulled out
a gun. We just shot. You're hit. We gotta go. They all get in the car. They're driving. And Kelsey then texts her bodyguard.
Megan's bodyguard.
Like, yo, Megan was shot by Tory.
Yeah, Tory just shot Megan.
Help. Like, Tory just shot Megan. Help. 911.
Right.
That's what, though she sends those 3 texts.
Right.
I don't know if it's the neighborhood people that call the cops. I think it is. It's the neighbors that end up calling the cops and go, somebody was shot. There was shots that rang out. Somebody's screaming.
There's a
car that drove off. Here's the car's license plate. Blah, blah, blah. 8 minutes later, they find Tory, Meg, and everything, and that's the video that you see, and Meg is clearly getting out of the car limping, right? That's the story from Meg. Oh, no, and not only that.
There's more. There's more to that story.
There's more to that story, but essentially that's the story from Meg's side, and I think the story from Tory's side is pretty much similar up until the point where it becomes... It's more along the lines of
Meg
they're in
wanted
the car,
to get out
they're
of the
arguing, but they start arguing more over the fact that Kelsey talked to Tory as well as Meg talked to Tory.
No, they didn't talk. They more than talk. But yes.
No, you get what I'm saying. like they were dating.
Yes,
they were basically both dating Tory, and Tory and Kelsey didn't know. Right.
And neither did Meg. None of them knew.
No,
only Tory
I think
knew.
that that from Tory's side, they were trying to say that like Meg knew that Kelsey was talking to Tory, but Meg was just being a shady friend, and that apparently that's where the argument started, and that it was 2 girls that were arguing, right?
Yeah.
And even the neighbor that was out on the porch was trying to say no, it was 2 girls that was arguing,
right?
And then we saw one of the girls like waving. On Meg's side, the witness said that he saw a short man
waving,
which obviously, you know, in that case, who the short man is Tory waving something, like waving his arms, and then you heard the gunshots.
Yeah.
But then on Tory's side, they say, what was it? That Meg was, not Meg, that it was 2 girls that was fighting before.
Yeah.
Right? Long story short, right? They were all intoxicated. Clearly, Meg even said that she didn't want to say that when the cops first pulled up that, and I'm not going to lie.
That there was a gun in the car.
That there was a gun in the car.
Yes.
Why? Okay. I'm not going to lie. After looking at the footage, I see why in that moment Meg lied. Because, listen, you're already pointing your guns at us. You want us to all get out the car.
Yep.
We're all now out of the car. We're dealing with this whole police brutality thing at the time.
Right.
We don't know what the fuck is going to happen with this. I'm still in shock that, and I'm talking from Megan's standpoint, I'm still in shock that somebody I kind of care about just fucking shot me. I don't want your dumbass to get shot now. Right? I'm also trying to think, we're both superstars.
Yes.
I might not want to snitch on you. So let me just say I stepped on glass because I'm clearly shot, but I've been looking at this for the last 10 minutes. I've been feeling this pain for the last 10 minutes. It's clearly not life-threatening, and you clearly didn't hit me in a way in which you fucked me up that bad.
Right.
So we might be able to just skate past this. I might be able to say fuck you forever.
Right.
Because I know what you really did. But I might be able to save that ass.
Right.
Because I don't even know why you had a gun. And the fact that you shot me, I know you're going to be facing some jail time with your Canadian ass.
Right.
So let me just say I stepped on some glass.
Well, part of the details that from the Megan said that we're kind of like missing here is the fact that around that time where the whole shooting happened, Tory had a deal about to come through from a record label, and the person on Megan's side who started talking about this stuff was Tory. She didn't say anything. Megan was on her side. From what the documentary says, she was quiet up until Tory started divulging things to the internet, and that's when she was like,
and that's a key component because apparently they said that he was saying in the moment to get them in the car, like, please don't say anything because I have a deal that's on the way and I don't want to fuck this up.
Everyone already knows how record labels are. When some shit go down, they're like, nah, we don't want nothing to do with you. Like, they kind of be moving like that. So I see why Tory said that. So it's just like a very difficult situation for Tory, but just being a hothead is.
I don't think it was that difficult of a scenario. I think he fucked up.
Yeah, he did.
No, but not in the obvious way.
No,
I don't think he. I think clearly shooting Meg was fucked up.
Right.
If that's what he did, right? But I think where he fucked up in this scenario is after he shot Meg, she seemed to have kind of forgiven him in the moment and was just trying to protect him.
Well, because it's a black man, she doesn't want him to go to jail. I think where he
fucked up was the record label. You know, everybody once the video came out was like, "Who shot Meg?" and and the world was naturally attacking Meg. I think what fucked up was when he doubled down
on that. Right.
I think when the world was attacking Meg, it's a tough spot for Tory to be in.
Right.
And I think Tory getting even on everything, right? Tory could have easily just said, hey, listen, I'm going to have to just not say any. I understand my record label. Even if the record label comes to me and says, hey, speak up and clear your fucking name because clearly she was shot. It was your gun. You have the gun charges. So now everyone's looking at you to think that maybe you shot her. Clear this shit up.
Right.
I don't know what you're going to say, but clear this shit up or we're not signing.
Right.
Let's say that's what they came to him with. Me and Tory's predicament would have said, look, I'm not clearing shit up. Let me tell you why I'm not going to clear up a fucking thing. Because I'm going to stay quiet. I'm going to let people think whatever. Even if I lose this deal, cool. At least I don't lose my fucking freedom. If I open up my mouth and I say anything but I shot her, the world is already attacking her.
Right.
If I open up my mouth and I say anything but I shot her.
Right.
There's only two things I could say. I can say I did it or I can say I didn't. And if I say I did it, I'm going to fucking jail.
Yep.
If I say I didn't do it, she's going to sue my ass and I'm going to fucking jail.
Yep.
Or I'm being fucked up to a person I shot that's trying to protect me.
Exactly.
So either way, I'm going to shut the fuck up and let the world try to decide. And maybe down the line, we can try to say that like maybe the gun accidentally went off. But when we see who witnessed what and what evidence is out there and all this shit.
Let's all get our stories
fucking together. You feel me?
At the end of the day, what people also don't realize is that Megan didn't come for Tory. The state came for Tory.
He didn't even get charged with what everybody's beefing about. What he went to prison for.
2 out of those 3 charges were gun charges.
So his ass was going to jail regardless. Not to mention, homeboy got offered a 4-year plea deal. I got a question.
Right.
I got a motherfucking question. Right. So you mean to tell me that you're on trial for gun charges, an illegal gun that, first of all, is yours.
Right.
Second of
And
all,
you let out
was
for all we
warm.
know,
We
right.
can see it on the body camera of the police when they checked the vehicle. They touched it and said,
Ooh,
this
is
motherfucker,
warm.
it's warm. It's warm to the touch. It was
Right.
just used. Clearly, your gun was just discharged. So now, and then bullet fragments was removed from her foot, which means even if you didn't shoot her, it's your gun. It's illegal. You're an immigrant.
Right.
And there's bullets in her foot, which means now 2 of those charges are naturally going to happen.
Yep.
Then they can't prove that you necessarily shot her. That's the assault charge. That's like the last that of his sentence.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter. When they offered you that 4 years and you had already served a year, with all that evidence of Kelsey texting saying that you shot, right?
Right.
With all the evidence of
you calling Kelsey
the next day and apologizing.
Right.
Right? Bro.
Saying Megan will never forgive me for this.
Bro. At that point, I would take the 4 and hope and just say, hey, look, like, I need to fucking take the 4.
Yeah.
I need to take the 4 and then do everything I can to lessen it down.
Yeah.
Because if they say, think about it, 4 years and then they tell you that in California you need to serve 85%. 85% of 4 is what? 3.2 something.
Yeah, exactly.
You've already served a year and some shit.
You only got 2.2.
So you'd have been talking about some damn. I ain't been broke in a minute in January 2026.
Exactly.
Probably on stage.
Not 2030. Not even 2030. Fuck.
Fucking. I don't even.
2033 or some shit.
Whenever the fuck he's gonna get out now. So that's my take. After hearing all of that evidence, after seeing both sides, I understand. I don't give a fuck. Even if Meg and Kelsey were arguing and fighting, right?
Yeah.
Even if, it doesn't change the fact of, bro, like, I can't prove that Tory shot Meg.
Right.
I can't prove that Kelsey didn't shoot Meg. But what I will say is that homeboy's in prison because, one, he had ample opportunities to not be in prison.
Yeah.
One, bringing the gun, the illegal gun, was not smart.
No.
To a pool party. Let your bodyguard that came with you handle that. If that's the case, why was he there?
Why do you have
a bodyguard if he's not gonna have a legal gun on him?
Right.
That's number 1. Number 2, having it in a place where it can be discharged by either you discharging it or somebody else discharging it.
Yeah.
Third thing, it was found by where you were sitting. Your foot, you wasn't back there.
Right.
They were back there. Meg and Kelsey were in the back. He was in the front.
Right.
The gun was in the front passenger seat. We saw it by the door. By the door that they said he aimed out of.
Right. The math ain't mathing.
Now that everybody's trying to talk about gun residue. Oh, so now we're all CSI forensic investigators?
Right.
Since when have we been investigating gun residue on mofos?
Exactly.
Like that. And making it accurate.
Now,
No,
I understand,
stop.
like, the crazy part is that Kelsey could have had a part in it, right? She could have also partially shot Meg. Because when Kelsey took the stand, right? Okay, Kelsey, when she confessed to the police in April or whatever, she gave the full-out confession. When she was on the stand, Kelsey ain't say shit, but I don't know.
Kelsey gave the same answer that mofos back in the day when the mob is on fucking trial and they pull the witness to the stand.
Right.
The same fucking answer that people give when the mob has come to them. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking remember.
I plead the fifth. Like, and then she asked for protection. She said, anything that I do confess here, I want extra protection from. Like, you guys can't come and get me after whatever I confess. She asked for that. So clearly, I really think that there was something going on, and Tory was also trying to protect Kelsey.
So here's what I think. I think you could be right in that instance where that's the theory that I say, if anything, if Tory did not, if the situation wasn't that Tory just straight out shot Meg, right? The other theory that I would say is very plausible is that there was somewhat of an instance where it is probably Kelsey has something to do with some of those shots that were fired. And with that being said, it would put still both of them in a tight predicament because the amount of evidence to point to Tory to say, hold on, the negligence charge and the gun charge is still now going to be on you.
You're right.
But now we have
a third.
We have this other person who, this other person that you're trying to now pin it back on. Now Tory has to fight 2 fights.
Right.
Because now he has to fight the fact that Meg said no, that you shot him. Now you got to fight that. Right. And now if you snitch on her, now you got to fight the fact of I'm definitely getting this negligence charge because it's my gun. So now I'm getting the illegal gun charge and the negligence charge because how the fuck did she get it?
Right.
Right. And then now I got to now fight her because now she's going to flip it right back on me and go, nope, don't do that to me. You did it. Right. Now it's going to look like 2 people. Now she would have never came in that courtroom and said, I don't know. Now she would have came in there and be like, no, he did it.
Exactly.
You feel me? So now I guess that is another theory where Tory got put in probably an awkward predicament where he goes, you know what? Look, listen, I was fucked up for probably even giving you the gun or whatever.
Or letting you take it.
Or letting you take it or whatever the fuck happened. You feel me? So I don't know. Here's my thing though. How the fuck would Kelsey even get the gun?
She was standing next to Tory.
Standing next to Tory?
Yes. Well, he shot Meg apparently.
Oh, so you think that Tory was like, yeah, dance, bitch, pop, pop, and then she took the gun.
She
was
took
like,
the
pop,
gun.
pop.
Yeah.
I don't. That's so weird.
I would not be surprised.
That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That shit like that doesn't happen. That's some movie shit. Pop, dance, bitch, pop, pop. Hey, yeah, let me get in on that. Pop, pop. No, that's.
I mean,
that
they're drunk. Listen, drunk people do stupid shit, like stupid. So I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Listen, man. Listen, I hate this bullshit. I hate the court of law sometimes.
Yeah.
I hate how we act like we know shit and then we act like we don't know shit. Like, it's bullshit. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of innocent people that's up there on the fucking stands. And then there's guilty ass people that's up there on the stands. Yeah. And then when it comes to OJ, everybody's like, oh, but he did that shit. It's like, yeah, he did that shit. But look, this is the justice system that y'all always fucking support. So I'm fucking confused. You feel me?
Don't math.
The math never fucking maths.
Yeah.
The math never maths. But I think
it's such a weird thing.
I think at the end of the day, what I took from it was, sounds fucked up to say, but it is what it is. I'm a fan of Tory Lanez. Yeah. But does he deserve to serve some sort of jail time? Yes. Yeah. I think when you have that much evidence coming against you, I don't like to rule people out because there's been instances where people have damning evidence against them and they're completely innocent. Yeah. But I do think
twist it either way.
But I do think in this scenario, him serving some sort of jail time is fair. No. On his part.
For carrying the gun.
If your gun is illegal,
right?
You brought it. Yep. When you had no reason to bring it, you wasn't coming to a concert. Right. You wasn't going out to 7-Eleven by yourself. No. You brought it. It ended up getting fired. Right. Somebody got hurt. Right. That's on you.
And I hate to say it like this, but one of the people on the Megan story side said it. They said if Kylie was the person getting shot, this would have been a Tory did it immediately. Immediately. So that's why I'm like even if it was Kylie Jenner getting shot, you should not have brought the gun anyway. Like, it's just that. And it goes back to people signing stupid contracts and not reading them and then trying to get off of their contract, the record label. It just goes back to that. It goes back to the not thinking part.
Yeah, and accountability is a big part of it. And I don't care, even if Meg did step on glass, that would not make any sense because there were bullet casings found at the scene. And the gun was warm to the touch when they touched it.
Well, not just that. They took out bullet
And they took out bullet fragments from her leg. So, exactly. No matter how you put... And then... what else I love is they showed the x-ray. And it finally proved all these dumbass people who think they're surgeons or fucking kinesiologists or all these shits on the internet wrong. Bruh, the bullet fragments were like near her Achilles. They were like in and around her ankles.
She's lucky her shit didn't pop.
Yeah.
That shit didn't go any further and her thing
bullet
popped.
Fragments. Right. Not a bullet. A bullet did not go through her foot. No. So.
Because if a bullet went through her foot,
then we would have been having a completely different. She would have came out the next day and be like, this nigga shot me. She
was like, fuck you, Tory.
You want to know where the bullet came from? Tory's ass. That's where the bullet came
from. She waited. I'm not going to lie.
You know?
She was patient. She waited a long time.
I wouldn't have been that fucking patient. You shot me in the foot.
No,
nigga.
it makes sense because
bro.
in America, you want to protect the black man, even if he did something wrong to you. Now, like, she was patient and she chilled out. She was just like, yo, just take your shit back. Just stop. Just chill. But he didn't. He chose to keep pursuing it. So, I mean, look, buddy, like, that's what happens. If you know you're guilty, just shut the fuck up.
The least you could do is shut the fuck up.
That's it.
But he might have been in a tough predicament where he couldn't.
Yeah,
but also that damn phone call the next day.
It's the phone call.
Damn.
It's the text messages from Kelsey. It's all of that.
Yeah.
It's all of that convinced. And then on top of that, they were trying to, during the case, it shows you in the documentary, they were, from Megan's side, they were sort of like trying to play on the misogyny part with Megan. They were trying to like say like, oh, but she slept with Tory and this and that and the third. So I feel like the misogyny plus the damning evidence of the call and the text messages and Kelsey's recording, like her witness recording, like when she confessed stuff, not confessed, but when she told the police what happened from her side. I feel like all of those things just immediately damned Tory. Yeah. And I feel like his defense could have done a lot more of a better job.
Yeah, we got to stop doing that victim blaming shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes a victim is a victim, and no matter how you slice the cake, mofo, I got shot. Homeboy brought the gun. What the fuck?